Hi there, it's Gina here with another scrapbooking video, and this one is about my husband's hernia surgery. I had made a page kit for these photos, and it's just one of, when he's after the surgery, and then of his boo-boo on his belly where he had the hernia surgery. So, and it's not too gross, it's not like a huge, like incision or anything. But anyway, I'm going to use that paper with what looks like the arrows for the background. And it's very colorful. And as you can see, he's smiling. It's not like, he was super upset about the surgery. At that time anyway, maybe he had a medication. Not quite sure. Don't remember. Alright, so I'm going to take that branding strip off of the pattern paper. And I'm going to go ahead and mat it on a black piece of cardstock. So here I'm trying to decide what I want as my background, and I love colors, so I am going to go with the bright arrow pieces as my background. So because I did that, I'm not going to need too much embellishment. So I just put that little bit of adhesive to try to make it stay on the mat. So I'm trying to decide which pieces to use. And I'm just going to cut out some pieces from the back of that. Is it Echo Park? Yeah, I think that's where the paper came from. So I'm playing around to see how I want the layout to come together. And I have some Tim Holtz little mini distress inks, and I'm using the mini tool to ink the edges of my papers. So that is how I store my black papers, pattern and just plain cardstock. So I'm looking for pieces in there to use for the layout. I have a ton of scraps. Not too much black because I use a lot, and white as well. But yeah, I have a huge stash of scrap papers that I'm going to start making layouts with. That's more to come later. My daughter's watching a series on Netflix, and she wanted to let me know she only has 2 episodes left. She's a binge watcher like her mama. Anyway, that is my big trimmer that I love. I just can't cut out the middle of things because it's a guillotine. So when I want to cut out the middle of the paper, like when I use it for background or whatever, I can't use that one. But I do love it. And it's a Fiskars guillotine trimmer. And I got it at the expo last year. And I love it. It's kind of big, but it works. So there I am. I just have a couple pieces of those papers that I attached, and the photos are going to sit on there. And as you can see, I just matted my photos in black so I could stand out a little bit more. And that's just some Dollar Tree foam. And I'm just attaching it to my photos so it could stand up a little bit. It's not thick at all. So it just gives a tiny bit of dimension. Because I don't want my albums to be super duper duper thick. Because I have a lot of photos and layouts. So just trying to decide what to use. And I will do my journaling. I don't have the layout in front of me, so I can't read to you exactly, but I'm sure it's along the lines of, you know, he wasn't upset to get the hernia surgery. It wasn't like an emergency kind of situation. It was more of, you know, just get it done before it gets super bad. And it was nice because he was off work, was it 6 weeks maybe? 6 or 8 weeks. He had accumulated time, so he was able to take off. And yeah, he was home with me for like 6 to 8 weeks. It was so awesome having him home. I mean, he was in pain, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like a super duper fun, easy thing for him. But once he started feeling better after a week or two, when he could move around more and sleep comfortably, it was nice having him home. So I just added that card. It says today, and that's going to be on the top of my photos. So as you can see, I decided to change the layout of the photos a little bit. It looked a little disjointed before. I was like just too separated. So just put the piece of the today on top and then the other part on the bottom. Makes it look like it's one large piece. And the paper collection, the little, it's one of those mini collections. It might be Capture Life, I want to say. Not 100% though. So that was my Creative Memories little trimmer. I love that sucker. And there I am just fussy cutting those out. I didn't, you know what, I don't think I even checked to see if I had a little circle punch. And then I think my husband was calling from work, or I was calling him, one of the two. So those little viewfinder thingies, I had to punch out the little holes. I think I did that at the beginning. But they're really cute. I thought it would be nice for this layout. There's a little scrap. It was a piece from like the branding strip or whatever. It was on the top of one of them. So I just went ahead and used that up there with the arrows pointing. And then those little viewfinders, I decided to back them with some black cardstock, and then I just cut it out so they could stand out more. And give pops of black, some contrast to all that colorfulness. I hope you don't hear my son upstairs. He's watching some show and they keep saying, FBI, open up. And that's his new thing right now. So, yeah, if you hear that, it's not really the FBI coming to get me. Anyway, I put the other piece of that arrow strip on the bottom. And I have another piece I think I'm going to put there on the top. And I'm using my label punch there to punch a piece of black. To make a label up there to start one of my little embellishment clusters. Then I decide to put a little dimension on that one and that viewfinder. I use another little label to go behind there. And I do have this sped up to 4 times. I tried to do 8, but that was way, way, way too fast. So I just did it at 4. And the layout took me like an hour 10, I think. I don't know why the simpler layouts, well, they look simple, take me so long. I think it's finding the layout, the configuration and stuff that takes me a little longer. Sometimes when I haven't been scrapping a lot, like making pages, because I do a lot of organizing in my room and stuff like that when I don't feel like actually doing a page, or if I don't have page kits ready, stuff like that. So I think that might be part of the problem. And then I just end up moving things around a lot. But overall, I like this layout okay. It came out pretty good. At least the story is documented. It's not a happy story, but it is a story that, you know, at least I remember when it was, if we ever need to know, you know. And he's smiling, so it's like, you know, he didn't care. He's like, yeah, go ahead, do my layout. So I guess if you're wondering, that redness is the, on that bottom picture, it's, you know, like the bruising and from the tape and adhesive that was on them and stuff. It got a little irritated. So it wasn't really that gross. He just made like some incisions. It's pretty cool. It's pretty non-invasive nowadays. It's so awesome. So there I have the date. And I put that remember this sticker. And then I'm going to work on my title, I believe. Yep, I'm looking for my, oh no, maybe not. I found those, but it's kind of too, like, realistic, you know? So we'll see what I end up adding. I don't remember adding this stuff on the final layout. Nope, I don't. So looking at my washi. Got a yellow. And then I'm adding some dots, some enamel dots. Pardon my head. So, I think I'm almost done. I got to work on the title soon. And it's going to be a very clever title. Very clever. So I'm going to use some black foam thickers. So I'm going to check and see the letters that I have available, and of course I don't have enough with that one. So I have 2 sets of those, so I'm going to see. The clever title I'm going to make. So I'm going to, yeah, with the foam thickers, I usually don't have to reinforce them. But with the other chipboard ones I do, so yeah, I didn't add any extra adhesive to that. So that says hernia, and then I'm using those little baby stickers. Now remember, just wait, it's clever. If you can guess, it says surgery. So yeah, hernia surgery, so clever, right? So I think we're about done. I think I'm going to do my journaling next. Got some adhesive, so just using my eraser to get that off from my ATG. I'm looking for a pen and just doing the journaling. Pretty much, I think the same thing I said, that, you know, he had the hernia surgery, but it wasn't horrible because he got to stay off a long time with me. So I think that is it for the layout. So I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.